Imagine a waterfall that flows upward, flames orange like lava, or vanishes into frozen ground. Most waterfalls follow gravity, yet some of nature's most dramatic scenes defy what you expect. In this video, we will explore hidden underground torrents, unusual ice-fed falls, and jaw-dropping optical illusions that trick your eyes. Ready to see the planet's most spectacular and seemingly impossible waterfalls? Let us go. Number 20. Gioc Waterfall. 2 nations, 1 waterfall. Gioc Falls looks like a place from a dream. It rises in China, curves into Vietnam, and then crosses back. Water pours over a cliff and keeps going into 2 countries at once. People call Gioc an impossible waterfall because it seems to ignore borders. You can stand on one bank and watch water fall in another country. Animals, water, and rock do not care about lines on a map. The river simply follows its path, carving the land and joining 2 countries in a single rush of water. Visitors often feel small beside the roaring falls. The sound fills the air and the spray cools your face. For a moment, the world feels pure and whole, beyond fences, beyond politics, beyond names. The Kisun River feeds the falls. That looping path makes the waterfall split between the 2 nations. The falls drop more than 30 meters and stretch more than 200 meters across. Mist rises and drapes the cliffs like wet silk. Behind the water stand sharp karst limestone peaks. The bright white falls and the dark rocks create a wild, bold scene. Number 19. Dynjandi, the waterfall that roars. Dynjandi is in the West Fjords of Iceland, a waterfall that looks like a giant curtain draped over the mountainside. From a distance, it almost does not seem real. The falls drop about 100 meters and spread as they fall, roughly 30 meters across at the top and 60 meters at the base. So it is hard to fit the whole thing into a single photo. Locals call it a natural wonder because of its shape. Its name, Dynjandi, comes from the Icelandic word for thunderous, which is fitting. Glacier-fed water roars down the rock. In sunlight, the falls flash and shimmer like a giant bridal veil, or a lace staircase spilling down the slope. Dynjandi is actually a series of 7 cascades that feed the Dynjandisa River. The main drop is the largest, but as you walk along the river, you can see each tier tumble into the next. Up close, the sound grows, and the whole system reads like a single, impossible sheet of water. For anyone who loves wild places, Dynjandi feels like a secret, revealed, vast, simple, and unforgettable. Number 18. Blood Falls, Iron Rust, and Living Microbes. Blood Falls pours a strange crimson ribbon from the ice in Antarctica. The fall spills from Taylor Glacier into a frozen lake called West Lake Bonny. At first glance, it looks like blood on the ice. The color comes from iron in the water. The water bubbles up from a hidden pool trapped beneath the glacier. That pool has been sealed for about 1.5 million years. It is dark and has no oxygen. The water there is very salty. The salt keeps it liquid even when the air is far below freezing. When the iron-rich water meets the air, the iron rusts and turns red. That is why the falls look blood-colored. Even though Taylor Valley averages below -10 degrees Celsius, the falls never freeze. Glaciers do not normally have rivers running through them. This one does because the trapped pool is under 400 meters of ice and is under pressure. The brine forces its way out through small cracks in the glacier, and the red water flows down the face of the ice. Inside that sealed lake, life survives against all odds. Microbes live in total darkness without oxygen. They do not breathe like we do. Instead, they use sulfates and iron to make energy. That makes this hidden lake a rare ancient ecosystem on Earth. Blood Falls looks like a terrible living wound on the ice. In truth, it is a strange chemical story of salt, iron, and life, hidden for ages beneath the glacier. Number 17. Iguazu Falls, the Devil's Throat. Iguazu is a roar you feel in your bones. It sits where Argentina and Brazil meet, and it is not a single fall, but a broken ladder of water. Around 275 separate cascades pour over the cliffs. Together, they stretch for about 2.7 kilometers. One place, called the Devil's Throat, steals all attention. There the river falls 82 meters in a single thunderous drop. On the Argentine side, the falls feel close and wild. Walkways rise above the spray, and a 1.4-mile trail takes you right to the lip of the Devil's Throat. You can stand near the rush of water and feel the mist on your face. The Brazilian side shows the whole picture. From its sweeping viewpoints, the waterfall system looks vast and powerful. You see the scale, the countless curtains of water, and the river cutting through the green. There are fewer trails, but the views are broad, dramatic, and unforgettable. Iguazu is both intimate and immense. It humbles you and leaves you speechless. Number 16. Angel Falls, the world's longest freefall. Angel Falls feels like a place from another world. It drops from the flat top of Ollantaytambo, a giant ancient mountain. From that rim, the water falls without stopping for 979 meters, the tallest continuous drop on Earth. Most of the fall happens in a single breath-stopping plunge. For 807 meters, the water free falls through the air. Much of it turns to mist long before it reaches the ground. In dry months, the stream can thin so much that the water vanishes into spray before hitting the basin below. When the rains come, the scene changes completely. Jungle storms swell the river, and the falls become a roaring wall of water. The torrent throws up clouds of mist that cling to the cliffs and reshape the landscape around them. Up close, Angel Falls is at once fragile and fierce, a simple drop of water made into something impossibly grand. Number 15. Kravica Waterfall, Curtain of Green. The Kravica Waterfall seems impossible at first sight. Water pours straight out of a thick emerald forest, as if the trees themselves were leaking rivers. It does not fall in a single sheet. Instead, it spreads like a giant curtain across an amphitheater, 120 meters wide and 25 meters high. Below, a clear turquoise lagoon waits, calm and deep. The waterfall grew slowly, layer by layer. Minerals in the water left behind soft limestone that looks like mossy rock. Over time, plants and trees took root on that fragile stone. They grow right under the falling streams, hiding parts of the falls and creating green caves along the cliff. In spring, the scene changes. Heavy rains swell the river and the falls roar. Water thunders over about 20 separate drops, wild and loud. In summer, the mood softens. The flow thins into delicate veils of water that hang like bridal curtains, revealing bright green grottos and secret pools behind them. Kravica is a place of contrast, power and calm, stone and living green. That rare mix is what makes this waterfall feel impossible and unforgettable. Number 14. Skogafoss, where rainbows dance. Skogafoss thunders from the edge of the world. Water plunges straight down about 60 meters from ancient sea cliffs. For centuries, those cliffs marked Iceland's shoreline before the ocean moved 5 kilometers away. A thick, steady spray rises where the river hits the ground. On sunny days, that mist turns into bright rainbows, sometimes 2 at once, dancing in front of the fall. A steep stone staircase of 370 steps climbs beside the water. At the top, the view opens wide, the black coastline stretching south, and the start of the famous Fimmvörðuháls Trail. Skogafoss feels raw and alive. Filmmakers have known that power for years. Its cliffs and spray appear in big movies like Thor, The Dark World, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and the series Vikings. Standing there, you understand why. The falls demand your attention. Number 13. Underwater Waterfall, the ocean that seems to fall. This waterfall sits in the middle of the sea. How strange. From above, the water appears to rush over a cliff and vanish into a dark abyss. Pilots and drone footage make it look as if nature is pouring the ocean away. But it is an illusion. This underwater waterfall lies off Mauritius, a small island in the Indian Ocean. The water near the island is shallow and brilliantly turquoise. Farther out, the sea drops suddenly, where a steep shelf falls nearly 4,000 meters to the deep ocean. Strong underwater currents push sand and silt across that shelf. When the sediment reaches the edge, it tumbles down into the deep. From above, the pale sand blends with the lighter water and then plunges into the dark navy blue sea. The motion and the change in color make it look like a massive waterfall. You cannot see this from the beach. Boats do not reveal it either. The effect only appears from a bird's eye view. Seen from the sky, the ocean presents a quiet, breathtaking scene that fools the eye. An impossible waterfall that is really sand cascading into the deep. Number 12. Horsetail Fall, a 10-minute miracle. This is the Horsetail Fall, For a few breathless minutes each February, a waterfall on El Capitan seems to glow like flowing lava. The show happens at Horsetail Fall on the eastern face of the cliff. The fall only runs in winter. It is fed by melting snow and ice from the top of El Capitan. If there is not enough snow, or if it is too cold, the fall stays dry. Everything must line up perfectly. The setting sun has to hit the water at just the right angle. This only occurs for 10 to 15 minutes on a handful of days in mid to late February. The western sky must be clear. A single cloud or haze will blot out the glow. When it does work, the water lights up brilliant orange and red. People gather in silence to watch the brief, fiery ribbon pour down stone. It looks impossible, like nature painting with light. Then the sun moves, the color fades, and the valley returns to normal. It is a fragile spectacle. A small change in weather can end it. That is what makes the Yosemite Firefall feel so magical and rare. Number 11. The Upside-Down Falls, when water flows up. It began as a rumor, a waterfall that did the impossible. People said the water rose instead of fell. They called them upside-down waterfalls. These falls do not break the rules of nature. Strong winds meet a cliff and catch the falling water. The wind is so fierce that it lifts the spray back up. Rain and spray turn into a ghostly mist that climbs the rock face. From a distance, it looks as if the waterfall is flowing the wrong way. You can see this strange sight in a few real places around the world. In the western Ghats of India, Nanaghat's mountain pass fills with mist during the monsoon, and the rain seems to fly. In England's Peak District, Kinder Downfall often becomes a spray that blows upward during winter storms. On Oahu in Hawaii, Waipuhia Falls is known for trade winds that push the water into a fine mist. On the Faroe Islands, powerful Atlantic gusts have been seen reversing small cascades along the cliff edges. Standing near one of these falls feels like watching weather and rock argue with each other. You feel the wind on your face and see water hanging in the air. It is loud, wild, and a little eerie, a natural trick that reminds you how strong the elements can be. Number 10. Nachi Waterfalls, the ribbon from the sky. Nachi Waterfall looks like water falling from the sky. For a moment you forget physics. A single unbroken ribbon of water drops from a great height. It pours straight down for 133 meters, making it Japan's tallest single-tier waterfall. You find it in the sacred mountains of Nachikatsura in Wakayama Prefecture. The falls sit beside an old shrine that has no main hall. The people who worship here treat the waterfall itself as a sanctuary. The cliff is sharp and clean. Hard, erosion-resistant rock forms the lip. Below, softer rock wore away over many ages. That contrast left a nearly perfect vertical drop. From a distance, the water seems to fall forever, a thin line between stone and sky. The place blends nature and faith. Local legends say gods from the heavenly realm came down through this rushing water. Worshippers still feel the power of that story. For them, the fall is not just a place on a map. It is a living god, wild, loud, and sacred. Standing there, you hear the water thunder and feel its spray. Your eyes follow the endless line of water. For a moment, the world narrows to a single impossible drop. Number 9. The horizontally falling waterfall, the sideways waterfall. This is the waterfall that runs sideways. At Talbot Bay in Western Australia, the sea moves like a clock. Twice each day, the tide shifts with enormous force. The water here can rise and fall by as much as 10 meters. Huge volumes of seawater push toward two narrow gaps in the McClarty Range. The first gap faces the open sea and is about 20 meters wide. The second gap is only about 10 meters wide. The rocks act like a gate. Water piles up on one side faster than it can slip through the gaps. When the tide turns, that pile of water has to find an exit. It blasts through the narrow openings and spills across the rocks. From a distance, it looks like a waterfall flowing sideways. The sheets of water can stand up to 5 meters high as they force their way through. The spectacle reverses twice every day. As the tide changes direction, the pressure flips and the sideways waterfall runs the other way. For a few dramatic minutes, the sea becomes a river moving across the edge of the earth. Visitors come to feel the power and watch nature bend expectations. The horizontal falls are not a geological mistake. They are a bold, moving reminder that the ocean can make its own strange, spectacular rules. Number 8. Maletsunyane, the place of smoke. The sky above Semenkong hides a secret. Travelers call this place the place of smoke. Down a basalt cliff, water drops in one long fall. 630 feet of white, mist, and thunder. This is Maletsunyane Falls. At the rim, the water plunges straight down. It cuts through the air, then crashes into a deep gorge. Spray rises like breath from the earth. Locals listen to the echoes and tell old stories. Some say the voices belong to drowned souls. The sound hangs in the mist and follows you along the gorge. Now picture the fall turning inward. Water that should rush down instead climbs. The mist is pulled up the cliff, not blown away. A loop is born. Water falls, then becomes vapor, then rises, then condenses and falls again. The river seems trapped in a circle of spray. In that strange scene, time feels thin. The drop becomes a living thing, endlessly repeating itself. Liquid blurs with sky. The gorge fills with a soft gray light. You stand at the edge and watch a waterfall that never finishes falling. Whether myth or miracle, Maletsunyane already feels otherworldly. Seen this way, it is not just a waterfall. It is a place where nature bends the rules and leaves you breathless. Number 7. Huangguoshu Falls, when sky met land. The day the sky met the land, a wall of water thundered down like a living curtain. Huangguoshu Waterfall sits in Guizhou Province. It is China's largest waterfall. Water drops fall from a height of 77.8 meters and spread across 101 meters of rock. Visitors come for the roar and the sight. The Grand Cascade is the heart of the park. You can watch it from 6 different platforms. Between 11 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, sunlight and spray make bright rainbows over the Rhino Pool. The colors hover above the churning water like painted arches, but the real magic hides behind the curtain. A long cave, called the Water Curtain Cave, runs 134 meters behind the falling sheet. People walk inside and feel the power of the waterfall all around them. Mist fills the cave. You will get soaked. Bring a raincoat or waterproof gear. Nearby, Dupotang Waterfall fans out wider than any other in the park. It pours in layered steps, an unending fall that spreads like a fan. Downstream, the Tianxingqiao scenic area opens into a wild green world. Stone forests rise like sculptures. Karst hills roll into the distance. There, the gentle Yinlianzuitan Waterfall threads the rocks with silver ribbons. Huangguoshu is not just a place to see. It is a place to feel. Thunder in your chest, mist on your face, rainbows in your eyes. It is the kind of wonder that stays with you long after you leave. Number 6. The Bottomless Devil's Kettle, the hole that eats things. The Devil's Kettle is a waterfall that tricks the eye. One part of the river falls into a bright open drop. The other part pours into a deep rocky hole and seems to vanish. People long called it impossible. At Judge C.R. Magny State Park, near Grand Marais, Minnesota, the Brule River splits. One side tumbles over the cliff in plain sight. The other side plunges straight into the Kettle, a dark pothole carved in the rock. Visitors stared and wondered where that water went. Stories grew. Some said it led to Lake Superior. Others imagined a secret cave or a bottomless pit. For years, explorers tried to find proof. They dropped dye, ping pong balls, and even logs into the hole. Nothing came back up. The mystery only deepened. In 2017, scientists stepped in. Hydrologists from the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources measured the river carefully. They compared the water volume above the Kettle with the flow below it. The amounts matched. The missing water was not lost to some great abyss. It simply reappeared a short distance downstream, hidden by fast currents and jagged bedrock. The Devil's Kettle keeps its name and its drama. But now the trick reads less like magic and more like nature's clever disguise. Powerful water, sharp rock, and a gap in our sight. Number 5. Dettifoss, where glacier becomes river. Dettifoss thunders like a living thing. You feel it before you see it, a steady, deep roar that shakes the air and makes the ground hum beneath your feet. This is the most powerful waterfall in Europe. Every second, about 193 cubic meters of water crash over a 44-meter drop. The curtain of water stretches nearly 100 meters across the jagged mouth of Iguazu Canyon. The river that feeds it comes from Vatnajökull, Iceland's huge glacier, and carries fine gray sediment that makes the water look milky white. Up close, the spray hides the cliffs and turns the whole place into a raw, fierce scene. Follow a short path upstream and the mood changes. After a 2-kilometer walk from Dettifoss, you come to Selfoss. It is quieter and wider, a softer sister to the violent roar. The water slides along a broad cliff and falls in many sheets, creating a strange, gentle beauty that photographers and walkers love. Head downstream instead, and the canyon opens into sharper views. A short drive brings you to Huangguosú. From its lookout, you see the deep river gorge carved by centuries of ice and water. The cliffs drop away, the river snakes below, and the landscape feels ancient and wild. Together, these falls tell a single story: glacier to river, power to grace, and the slow shaping of rock by relentless water. Each place shows a different face of Iceland, brutal and beautiful, quiet and loud, all separated by only a few kilometers but worlds apart in feeling. Number 4, Victoria Falls, the smoke that thunders. Victoria Falls takes your breath away. Locals call it Mozi Oa Tunya, which means the smoke that thunders. For a long stretch of rock, water pours away in a single massive curtain. It runs 1,708 meters across and drops 108 meters into the Batoka Gorge below. The falls sit on the Zambezi River between Zambia and Zimbabwe. When the river roars over the edge, it throws up a cloud of mist so high you can see it from 30 to 50 kilometers away. That mist, the thunder of the water, and the sweep of the cliff make Victoria Falls one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. People have known about the falls for generations. African storytellers and early archaeological records show a deep, long connection to the place. In 1855, Scottish missionary David Livingstone saw the falls and named them Victoria Falls after Queen Victoria. After that, more outsiders came to see the site. Today, the area is a busy tourist destination. Both Zambia and Zimbabwe protect parts of the river and gorge as national parks. Walkways, viewpoints, and lodges let visitors stand near the roaring water and feel the spray. But the falls are changing. Recent research points to shifting rainfall patterns tied to climate change. That could affect how full the river runs and how the falls look in coming years. Still, for now, Victoria Falls remains a powerful, living spectacle, a place where water, sound, and mist meet in a single, unforgettable moment. Number 3, Sutherland Falls, Fiordland's Thunder. Sutherland Falls looks like a secret the mountain keeps. Deep in Fiordland National Park, it drops in a single thunderous voice. The water begins in Lake Quill, a high basin carved by ice during the last ice age. The lake spills over the cliff, and the falls begin. The waterfall plunges a total of 580 meters in 3 main leaps. The upper and middle tiers roar down the rock, and the lower drop finishes with a 103-meter plunge. Mist rises where the water hits the cliff and the forest below. On clear days, you can see that mist from far away, a ghost cloud tucked among the trees. People call Sutherland Falls one of New Zealand's greatest sights. It feels immense and almost impossible. Scottish explorer Donald Sutherland first spotted its distant spray through the dense forest in 1880. Today, the falls still command awe and remind you how raw and powerful nature can be. Number 2, Nicho Falls, hidden waterfalls of Cuba. Nicho waterfalls feel like a secret the mountain keeps. Tucked into the Escambray Mountains of Cuba, this place hides a string of emerald pools and small waterfalls. The river here, Rio Habanilla, slips and tumbles through a thick cloud forest. Light filters through the leaves and catches on the water. The scene looks almost unreal. Walk the 1.5-kilometer trail called El Reino de las Aguas, and the forest closes around you. The path drops and climbs. Wooden stairs rattle underfoot. Mist hangs in the air. You pass narrow falls and quiet pools. Then you see the roots. These are not ordinary roots. They twist and drape over rocks like ropes. They spill down cliffs, weaving in and out of the water. From a distance, the roots look like a waterfall made of wood. It feels impossible, nature bending its rules to make something that looks like a dream. People come here to breathe the cold, fresh air and to stand beneath the main falls. The water is icy and bright, the color of polished glass. Some wade into the pools. stunned by the clarity and the chill. Others sit on mossy stones and watch light play on the surface. El Nicho is small but magnetic. The hanging roots, the clear pools, the soft roar of falling water together create an enchanted place. You leave with the memory of something both wild and gentle, like a secret waterfall that should not exist, but somehow does. Number 1. Akaka Falls, rainforest, stream, and spectacle. Akaka Falls plunges from a high cliff like a giant curtain of water. For 442 feet, it falls straight down, crashing into a green, fern-lined gorge. The sound is loud and constant. The sight is unforgettable. The falls sit deep in a rainforest on the big island of Hawaii. A short paved loop trail leads you through the woods. You walk among tall bamboo, hanging ferns, and wild orchids. The path is only 4/10 of a mile, so you do not need to be especially fit to see this wonder. Kolokole Stream feeds the falls. Frequent rain keeps the stream full, so the water pours with steady force. Sunlight strikes the gorge in the morning, making the cliffs glow. For the best light and fewer people, visit before 11 in the morning. Akaka Falls State Park lies about 11 miles north of Hilo on the Hamakua coast, just off Highway 220. It is one of the island's easiest natural wonders to reach. Even with a short walk, you feel the power of the waterfall and the calm of the surrounding forest.